James Grande.
What's going on, everybody? Jon Impemba with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. It is Friday, which means it is Listener League Friday here over on DraftKings. We got an 8-game main slate. Make sure you check out the description or the comment section of today's show to get the link to the Listener League. As always, if we get at least 25 entries into the Listener League, we'll be giving away a Fantasy Alarm hat that you see here. Again, we get nothing from DraftKings for hosting our leagues over here. It's just a fun thing that we like to do with all of you there. It's a $5 Listener League. And if you get 25 of you in the league here, we will give you guys, the winner, a Fantasy Alarm hat on us. You just got to follow us on Twitter, DM us when you win, and we'll get your information to ship out the hat. So again, Listener League Friday is here. 8 games to end the week. James, my buddy, how are we doing?
Doing well. So, John, we have another one of those games. 258.
Well, I saw we had Pacers Washington, and I haven't looked yet.
258.
258. Oh boy.
We also have the biggest spread we've had yet this season. If you had to guess what Detroit Philly sits at, what would you guess?
19.5.
16, but still room for 16.5 on BetMGM. So still room to.
And we are recording the night before, so there is a good chance that overnight people just look at that. They're like, yeah, we're going over.
Yeah. We're running it back with a lot of these games too. Atlanta, Toronto is we just saw the Lakers, San Antonio, Detroit, Philly was a game we just saw. So some interesting run backs. We have a slate low 211 in Houston, Memphis, which that was the Jaren Jackson game, right? Jaren Jackson went for 40 something against Houston. Yeah. So we have 44. four games just replaying essentially. So
we did have a 211 game total on the Thursday slate, Chicago, Miami, and that one went for 240. So
yeah, classic.
You can't always trust. What did that game end up going with?
Rub it in my face, John.
It was 221 was Houston, Memphis. So they went over that total.
Okay.
Just mentioning it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Do you think Anthony Davis sits this one out after LeBron sat out the game before? LA, San Antonio running it back.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Anthony Davis is playing like every day, dude. So
yeah, I know he's in all the minutes.
So, and I know he's questionable again, but no reason to really think he's going to sit until he does. So I'm just going to go into every slate assuming he's playing, and then if we get the information that he's not, we'll pivot from there. But
he is one of 2 players up over $10,000. Jason Tatum got a bump after a couple of slates being under 10K. He's up to 10-1. AD is 10-3. Durant's your 10-8 play. LeBron James 9,700. Victor Wembanyama coming off of a ceiling 68 fantasy point games since moving to center. He's now had 2 60-plus fantasy point outings. Can't say I'm too surprised.
No.
Rebounding numbers been elite. Oh, what do you know? Another 9+ block steal game because he's an animal. And we got 30 actual out of him for the second time this year. Still wild. I remember that 38 actual point game like it was yesterday.
Yep.
You climb in the standings there on the back of
Wembanyama. I do remember.
Yeah. So some good numbers, some good matchups here to certainly target. A lot of these teams, again, like recently played against one another, kind of running back. Atlanta, Toronto. We just saw that one. Scottie Barnes went, or was it Siakam? One of those two just went nuclear in that matchup. I think it was both.
Every single one of them.
53. Scottie Barnes, 52. So he couldn't have gone wrong.
Every single one of them. I think every starter for the Raptors had like 6x plus. So
yeah. So a lot of good stuff there in this slate. So let's just waste no more time. The 258 game total, Tyrese Halliburton. He just had that same matchup. He did not come through for Milwaukee, that matchup there. 31 minutes, only 37 fantasy points at 11-1. The Wizards are not the Bucks. So, do you want to pay the 11-3 for Halliburton here?
You can. I think just another like blanket statement. You can. We've seen what it looks like when the scoring isn't in the 30s, though, right? Like he has a serious ceiling because he has the ability to score 40 and get you 15 assists, but
Right.
he's not like a very consistent rebounder. He's good. He settles in 4 of the last 5 games. He's been at 5, but then the 3 games prior, he had 2, 2, and 3, or 2, 2, and 2. He's not the best
Mhm.
rebounder. He's not always getting blocks and steals. 1.7 isn't bad, but 11.3, like if you want to go there, sure. Trey Young, for whatever reason, is under 10K. Like, why is he under 10K? We had a full day of data understanding that he went for 68.5 fantasy points at the same price, and they were just like,
Yeah, they didn't touch him.
it feels like a good this feels like a good price. Let's just keep it here. Like
Mhm.
why? Why? Why, John?
Rose, $8,700 still.
Yeah, it feels
Like really
yeah,
not moving his price tag.
yeah.
Gets Pelicans spot. I guess we got to see if Zion's going to be in or not in this game. Do we know?
He's questionable.
Yeah, not a bad play for Rozier at $8,700.
Nope. Sure is
Uh,
not.
not at all. Bronson's 82, McCollum 76. Price bump for Derek White. Not sure I like $7,200 for Derek White there.
Yeah, I don't love the 7,200 unless DraftKings. I mean, that's the DraftKings covering themselves way,
Yeah,
right? Where
on the
they
back to backs.
on the back to backs. Yeah.
Beal was limited to 34 minutes.
The report before that game was he'll play similar minutes. He
Yeah,
played 7 more minutes.
he played
That
7
is
more
that is
minutes.
not similar. That is
It is not.
bullshit. That is a bullshit.
They didn't move his price tag, and obviously he hasn't really paid it off yet. So, probably not where I'm going, but interesting spot for him there.
Yep.
Schroeder was a popular play against Atlanta. He went for 35 fantasy points. They gave him a little bit of a bump here, up to $6,300. Anywhere else down here in the 6K range?
I mean, I really like the minutes from Vassell. He's just not making any shots. He's been really good peripherally. 5 for 15, 5 for 16, 4 for 15. You said this on the Thursday slate. Like you'd rather play. I mean, playing guys that you'd rather miss shots than playing guy with like 0 for 4 or something like that. 2 for
Mm-hmm.
6. So if you want to play Vassell 6,300 against the Lakers, that was a fun game. That's kind of it. I mean, Jaden Ivey's minutes died again. Like, yeah, can't stay in front of him because nobody can understand when you're gonna play him. Monty Williams.
You got the
And
ceiling Rose game if Desmond Bane's out again.
yeah, it would be interesting to see how his body holds up after 31 minutes and in a game he left in the middle of. But that just goes to show you there is still a ceiling for Derrick Rose. We said that earlier. I said that earlier to you in
Yeah.
the year. Like, now we'd have to monitor. I don't have the data in front of me. If Memphis happens to play Saturday, that would be a lot of something to definitely be aware of because they limited him the first time around on the
Right.
Memphis. Memphis does not play Saturday, so seems like all systems go for. They also don't play Sunday, so this is the last game for Memphis of the week. So if you want to play Derrick Rose, he shouldn't be limited in any capacity.
Okay. Any other value point guards here for you?
Of course, Quickly was really good in 18 minutes off the bench, but I don't think we can go there. We saw Dyson Daniels start, but he only played 16 minutes, didn't make any shots. Najee Marshall made every shot. So naturally, and Trey Murphy made every shot. So naturally, what's going to happen is Zion's going to sit. No one's going to play Dyson Daniels. He's going to start again. He's going to go 6 for his first 7, and he's going to be the one to play 30 minutes. It's just how that's how it goes. But there's nothing down here concrete that I would get to.
Shooting guard position, Booker's at 10-4. Desmond Bain, as we mentioned, is questionable. DeJounte, Brandon Ingram against Charlotte at $8,200. If there's no Zion, would be very nice.
Yes.
49-40 actual against Washington in that game without Zion Williamson there.
Not too bad.
Cade, JB, all your Celtics guards got bumped up here, so
They're all 7K.
All super expensive there. Did we get DeAndre Hunter ruled out already for this game?
He's questionable.
Questionable. Okay. Bogdan up to $6,800. Went for another 40 fantasy points.
It's
So.
crazy. It's crazy, dude. They just placehold. They're just placeholding the Matthews in the starting lineup, and then just playing Bogdan all the way.
They are.
I mean,
other shooting guards for you?
I do love Brandon Ingram would be a core play, obviously, as you mentioned. If any of the Lakers sat, we saw Reeves play another 30 minutes, be really effective again. So Austin Reeves, shooting guard, small forward would be good. Jalen Green's been freaking horrible over the last 2 games, so probably can't go there. OG with a little small forward eligibility now.
Yeah.
And he's been really good of late. 3 of the last 4 games, he scored 20 actual, increasing his trade stock by the day. Playing all the minutes he can handle, 36 plus in 4 straight games. We know he's and he's like kind of been not lacking defensively, but I feel like this is kind of a down year defensively for OG. Only a 1.8 steals and blocks. That's low for him. But getting back to OG against Atlanta obviously is going to be a popular play. Do we go back to Matherin is the question here. But he's $6,000.
Yeah, I mean, only 25 minutes is super disappointing. 2 of 8. I mean, you could. It's obviously a matchup where he could take advantage.
Yeah.
But I mean, Trey Murphy's there at 55.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's no Zion. That he might be the highest roster player on the slate.
Probably, yeah. Yep. I mean, Pelicans they're too cheap again, right? We could just say that again. They're like even Ingram at 82 is just. I mean, McCollum is 76. Ingram 82, Murphy 55, Herb 57, and Valanciunas 71. They're just all too cheap. I don't know why like the back-to-back bump happened, but not the like potential injury bump that you knew about.
Sure. Zaire Williams played 25 minutes here. Obviously Bane probably being out had something to do with that. Noel got 8, so he's basically out of the rotation there. Anybody else down here for you? What did Garrison Matthews play the other day? 18 minutes. So
with Bogey coming off the bench, they're running that double big. Malachi Branham 8 for 13 from the floor again, 28 minutes. I don't.
If he's in the starting lineup, I'll run that back 100%.
$4,400. You got a $100 decrease. Second straight game. We've had a couple of those like random assist rebound games that I don't think we're going to continue to get. I think the no peripheral stats are more like the Malachi Branham that I know. But he can score the basketball. So 4,400. He was like 1% on last slate. And then Gary Trent, 4 threes. That's all he did. I'm sure he'll get some ownership because he's just like a cheap 3-point shooter in the best spot. One of the best spots in the world.
Sure. We kind of zoomed by Coulibaly because Trey Murphy was there, but I mean, Coulibaly for sure.
Yeah, Coulibaly for sure.
I mean, $5,400 is great. The value you can get if Zion's out playing Murphy and Coulibaly, both with the shooting guard, small forward eligibility, is pretty nice.
Dude, Coulibaly is hilarious because look at the minutes. Like, he's in their normal rotation, but he is always playing in blowouts too. He played they lost by 50 against Philly, 31 minutes. They were down by 50 against New Orleans, 32 minutes. Like, he's playing so many minutes, even in games that they're getting smoked in.
No, I know. He's. I mean, listen, they have nothing to play for,
right?
So you might as well get your guy the run, right?
Yeah, develop him for sure.
Small forward here again. Tatum was at 10-1 as we talked about. LeBron 97. Scottie Barnes, I would love. I have no problem going back to Scottie Barnes right here. I know we've been playing a lot of Siakam because he's been cheaper, and here he is again at $8,300. But I Barnes, triple double potential with him with some of the defensive stats as well. Ingram's down here. Bane got the shooting guard small forward. Is that new?
No, I said it for a couple slates.
Okay. Franz, again, I'll never get him right. It's Boston. Not a great spot for him there. Keldon supposedly on the trade block. Did you hear that one?
Yeah. That's a reasonable thought because he's going to provide someone some good scoring off the bench. You know who could use Keldon Johnson? The Golden State Warriors.
Probably true.
second scorer of the Curry, especially if the Clay thing is, what it is right now, and Wiggins off the bench. They're out there. Someone like Golden State could use like a Keldon type play.
More mid-tier guys. I mean, Reeves got a big price bump here. 35 fantasy points with LeBron out. If someone sits, obviously, I think he would be at least in some consideration. We keep playing Gordon Hayward. He keeps coming through. Good cash game play, safe at $6,500 here. Unlikely he would be the one to draw Herb Jones, so like totally fine. Does Rozier get the Herb treatment?
Sure does. Yeah,
sure does.
Yeah, we saw last game though. Herb foul trouble and it like ruined everything. So, which is part of the package. That's part of the Herb package.
Also, Thompson played 29 minutes. Brandon Miller could potentially be a pivot off of that. Then, just a whole lot of minutes coming from Brandon Miller.
Whole lot of minutes, ton of minutes. They were down by like 20 in that game, and they were still starters were just out there.
Yeah. Tari Eason, $5,200. I mean,
this is why Jalen Green's not playing.
I mean, we've been talking about Tari Eason now since last year.
Yep.
If he's going to get 27 minutes, he is not a $5,200 player. He's a $7,200 player. So, yeah, we should be locking in Tari Eason into lines here. That feels really good.
It is because it is. It's definitely
it is.
Good.
I agree with you. That is nice to see. Vince Williams, 4,300, 28 minutes. Hate that he doesn't shoot, but he's super efficient. Filling the stat sheet up a little bit. Fouled out of that game as well. If no Bane.
He's gonna foul out of like every game he's extended in.
I know.
But he started that game, so
yeah, agreed. Anybody else?
No.
Say no.
I sure did.
Okay. Power forward. Davis is here. Tatum talked. Durant at $9,800 had 46 fantasy points, 38 minutes in his return to action. So no limitations to be seen there. Fine with the 9,800 KD with everybody active.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna instead play Wemby for 91.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I don't argue that.
Yeah, no, I like Durant, but like,
are we surprised he fouled out against AD? I'm not.
No. But I'm also not surprised that he's just an insane person for 68. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Again, like you said, it's like you look at the move. Look what they've done with this lineup. This is like the most minutes he's playing, and he's patrolling the paint, and he's gonna it's just everything is good for him right now. Except the Spurs obviously losing every game, but at least every game has been competitive. At least like they've been more competitive lately.
Randall had a really good game the other day, 61. We called it out. We said he was going to do it against Utah. I don't know if it happens against Phoenix here though.
Yeah, tough spot. Tough spot. Kuz is in a really good spot. 84 is always like, I'm always like, it's like a touch too expensive, right? Like 8,400 is like a smidge too expensive. But it's a ceiling type atmosphere. You have no idea what I even said. You were listening to the Taco Bell commercial on the post game of the Raiders.
Wasn't
Raiders Chargers game?
I wasn't.
It's okay.
Second 83.
Yeah. He's too cheap. I was gonna make him the cover again, but I just couldn't. I don't want to bore everybody. We're just putting Pascal Siakam on the cover every show.
Yeah, I mean 53, 33 actual. I mean, you just can probably double stack. Like, give me like a Koulibaly, Trey Murphy, Barnes, Siakam, 4-man.
Yeah, and even if you played you can play like any combo
Siakam
of
can
those
play
Raptors.
the center position, dude. Like,
yeah,
you can fit them all in your lineup here.
Yep.
Zinger 79. Zion, if he plays, would you have any interest at 7,900?
Yeah, sure. Shouldn't be limited after just missing one game.
I would think not. Let's see. Bay 61.
So many minutes. It's just so many minutes every game.
Another double for him.
Yeah.
Man has never aggressively crashed a glass like this in his career.
No.
Herbert's 57.
Jabari, don't gloss over Jabari. 40 burger, 20 and 10.
True.
And his price went down, $200.
3 straight games of double-digit rebounds.
I wonder, like, how. I mean, that's such an interesting dynamic. Him, Eason, and
Shingun. Is like Shingun getting knocked down because of this? Like,
Shingun's been okay.
Yeah, double. Oh no,
yeah,
9 and 10.
Yeah, I mean, he was okay in the Spurs game, the first like big Eason game, but like, yeah, he's definitely taking a big hit.
All right, other power forwards here. How are we approaching the Pacers? Nesmith played 25 minutes in that game, didn't do anything, had 5 fouls. Obi Toppin played 20 minutes in that game, didn't do anything, had 6 fouls. I mean,
probably ignoring both of them at this price.
Okay.
Those are not good price tags.
No, they're not. Just a matchup, right?
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. It's just like, I don't know if there's really a ceiling at
sure. Those prices. Where else the power forward are you looking?
I'm looking at center, I think. I mean, if Zion sits, Najee Marshall is going to be 100% owned at $4,200.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a little uncertain how repeatable 16-7 is off the bench for Najee Marshall, but he is a good basketball player. We've seen him be productive in the past, so that's probably where I'd go as the only other option. We're not even sure. They did start Metu again, but he only played 20 minutes. That just seems like the line that they're going to go with. Nasir Little, of course, why not? He played 27 minutes off the bench off concussion, so I don't know. But guessing the Suns is something.
Centers then.
Yeah.
Embiid's 11-8. Yeah, gets Detroit here. We saw what he did against them in 3 quarters, 67 fantasy points. Probably doesn't get more than 3 quarters of work out of him in this game either, right?
It feels like he's only playing 3 quarters every game.
Seems that way.
And it doesn't even matter.
And I don't think Detroit's going to make that that run any time.
No, I don't either. Does it matter to you at this point?
Not. Probably not.
I mean, I think it's like a valid question, and like if you were to say like it does, that's a valid. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. He's 41 and 34, and he's barely played 30 minutes in the last 2 games. I don't know. This guy's he's gonna win another MVP.
Do you trust Triple J to run it back? 42 and 40 minutes for him, man.
Those words should not be combined, John.
Okay.
Like, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, you said trust.
I mean, Siakam's $200 cheaper and giving you as good of production. So
yeah,
in a much better spot. I agree with you. Miles Turner is destined to disappoint us here. He did the first time. He played just 23 minutes in that game.
Yeah. This is definitely a Miles Turner letdown spot. So hopefully Zion sits so we can just play Valanciunas. So we don't have to worry about it.
Yep, that's fine. Valanciunas versus Charlotte, 71 is pretty good. Capella went for 38. Another double-double for Clint Capella here. Big minutes.
Yeah. As long as if Hunter sits again, they're going to play the double big. And like Ngannou played 30 minutes and Capella played 30. How many did he? 34. So they're both going to play 30 if Hunter's out. They might both play 30 anyway because that's just the lineup that they like right now.
Pirtle broke some slates if you played him at $5,900 in this spot. 32 minutes, 15, 13, 6, and 3. After basically doing nothing for a better part of a week. Again, do people just look at this matchup and just run it back because of how great it was for fantasy the other day?
Dude, this spot is so frustrating. It is. He has to be the most frustrating roster in like all of DFS because he goes stretches where he plays 30 minutes for 5 straight games, and then he plays 22 for 5 straight games. It's like because he's gonna play 22 minutes here.
Right. People who game stacked Atlanta Toronto the other day just like threw Jakob Poeltl in and got a 50 burger out of him, right? So,
I mean, that's in his bag.
Yeah,
but like. So is 24 minutes.
I mean, they had 3 guys go for 50, like almost 50 plus, though. So,
and Schroeder and Anunoby both went 35.
Yeah, 35.
So dude, it's like that you could not miss picking any of the Raptor starters.
Nope. Could not. Which is why they were all super chalky, right? When we looked at the roster
That's
that
also
day,
true. Yep.
you were playing Pelicans and you were playing Raptors, and like that was your day. Gafford is here at $5,600. Again, you got to figure out his minutes when he does play. He's really good. 27 minutes against Orlando, 43, 23 against Philly, 37, 24 against Pelicans, 27. Obviously, the Nets game didn't do too much. They lost by 40 in that one, but could be a game where he has a solid performance.
I miss $4,200 Daniel Gafford, John.
Yeah, we all do. Richards is a little bit more expensive here. Don't think we go there against Valanciunas. What's Goga been doing these days?
Goga minutes are really interesting the last
keep playing them.
Yeah, they do.
Does Wendell Carter ever come back? What's his deal?
He has a broken finger. So now that they're ruling him out game by game, he's close.
Yeah,
he's getting close because it's been like out forever. Now it's like, no, he's out this game.
Another 29 minutes for Hartenstein. Didn't do too much with it, but it was out there.
And another 29 minutes for Onyeka Ngakwe as well.
Yep.
Even in the 34 with Capella. So either of those guys are just playing big minutes.
For sure. What did Wiseman do? Anything? 16 minutes?
I think, didn't Stewart get ejected in that game and Wiseman still only played 16 minutes? That's just sad.
17 minutes for Precious. Gave you 7-7.
There's always upside. It's Atlanta.
Always the potential. That's probably it.
Yep. Agreed.
Isaac finally play again? Let's see. 12-11. Played the other day.
He did.
Isaac. 13 minutes, 16 fantasy points.
Yeah.
All right. Let's build a line. I feel like we kind of know what we want to do here. Let's do we do the assumption that Zion's in or out?
Probably in.
I'm gonna play Koulibaly anyways.
Yeah.
I guess
Toronto.
Do you go Halliburton? Or do you want to go like Bane or Barnes and Siakam here?
Or we could just do one and play like one of the mid-tier guys too. Like we could do, dude, any of those Toronto starters, all 5 Toronto starters went for 6+X. So you could play any single one of them.
Sure. What do you want to do at center?
Any of those like Capella and down players probably. That felt like too good a value, right? Like, I mean, Capella 63 is too cheap. Pirtle 59 if he's gonna play 34. Pirtle if he's gonna play 30 is too cheap. Ngakwe at 5K is too cheap. If you need that lineup to go from Capella to Ngakwe to save money, you can do that too.
Do we have what's the Bane status? Is he just questionable?
Questionable, yeah.
Let's see, 5K play. Branham 5250 for a forward. Josh Hart had a floor game.
Absolute floor.
Let's see if we get down. Does that give us anything else? 5450. Not really much else here. Util at 54. I guess this could be a Ngakwe. And that's 59 for a forward. Herbert, Troy Murphy, one of the two. Trey Murphy would be one of the two guys there.
Yeah.
Let's see. If we went off of Trey, not really a ton over here.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we just full stack it. 3 Toronto, 9,500 for a forward. Wemby.
Yeah.
That works. All right, we got 2 San Antonio. We got a little Toronto stack here. We got Koulibaly, Eason, and Ngakwe. Again, just an example lineup for everybody over here. We'll have the playbook out today. I'll be on that one. So if you have any questions, find us in Discord. Get us on Twitter. We'll be back live 5 o'clock Eastern. Again, check and join our listener league. Everybody, we'll talk to you later.